What's up guys, Jeff Cavaliere, AthleanX.com. Today we're covering the 5 biggest ab exercise mistakes. And let's be clear here guys, we're talking about ab exercise mistakes because there's a big one that I want to cover first and foremost, because if you're new to this channel, then you need to hear this. And if you're a returning visitor, you already know this. Guys, you need to get your nutrition in check if you ever want to see your abs, because your body fat levels will always determine whether or not we can see them. However, these 5 exercise mistakes are going to dictate how good your abs will ultimately look, so let's get right to them. All right, big exercise mistake number 1 is cheating on your ab reps. What am I talking about? You guys know because I know, and I've even done them myself. When you're doing crunches, have you ever tried to pull on your neck? If you did, I'm telling you, all you're doing is you're making your eyeballs think that your shoulders are actually off the ground, and they're not. We know that when we're doing our crunches here, we need to get our shoulders off the ground and not trying to trick ourselves into thinking that we're getting higher than we are by pulling on our necks. And when we do our lower ab exercises, have you ever tried to just swing your legs up and start counting the reps away, thinking that, hey, I'm doing more reps? It doesn't work that way, guys. The only ones that ever matter are the meaningful reps that you actually contracted to bring up there. And even sometimes we try to work with our hands and we're pushing down through the floor trying to get our legs up higher. Again, what are we doing here? We're strengthening our freaking hands, not our lower abs. Guys, start caring more about the quality of the repetitions and stop caring about how many you're doing, and your abs will respond. Ab exercise mistake number 2 is not breathing properly during your ab reps. What am I talking about? I actually made a whole video on this before about leading to bloated abs. You can actually start bloating your abs by not properly breathing on every rep. If you are exhaling, that's a good thing. But if at the same time you're pushing out your stomach, that's a bad thing. So what you want to try to do is learn how to exhale while not blowing out or pushing out on your stomach. So there's a big difference. You want to learn how to exhale as you tighten down and make your waist smaller and tighter. And we could do this on every single ab exercise. You just might have to focus a lot more. You can see me doing a crunch here. I'm not crunching, blowing out, exhaling, and pushing out at the same time. What I'm doing instead is I'm exhaling, blowing out, but at the same time pulling in and tightening down on my stomach. This makes a big difference into how your abs will look over the course of time when you add up rep after rep after rep. You're learning how to contract the transverse abdominis, stabilize, and then do the movement. And that's going to pay big dividends, I promise you, as you add up all the reps that you're going to do in all your ab training. Your ab exercise mistake number 3 is not including enough hanging ab exercises in ab work. Why? Guys, they always say if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. We know that hanging ab exercises are more challenging, but that is because they're more capable of changing you. Start doing more of these exercises. Here's the reason why. First of all, anybody who's ever had any kind of abdominal surgery could tell you, and I'm one of them with 2 hernia operations, I could tell you this: hanging from a bar is so damn hard if your abs aren't ready for it. It requires a lot of stabilization just to hang there. And if you're a ranked beginner, you might want to just start doing that, hanging from the bar for a minute or so to start training your abs to contract and stabilize your body. But of course, if you're a little bit ready for more of a challenge, you want to start doing more exercises from this position. And again, like I said, the last point here, you're stabilizing your pelvis first and then contracting from there. And it becomes a lot harder, but at the same time, we're positioned perfectly for lots of lower ab targeted movements here because we're moving from the bottom up. And all it takes is a little bit of a tweak and change the direction and turn and twist of the knees to really start incorporating not just the lower abs, but the obliques as well. Yes, these hanging exercises are more difficult, but as I said, they will start to pay more dividends for you in the long run, so start looking for ways to incorporate more of them into your training. Moving on, our 4th mistake here, not training your abs enough. Guys, I've been a big proponent of frequent ab training, and I'm gonna hammer that point home once again. I wanna see you training your abs 5 times. Better 6 times, and even better, maybe 7 times a week. Frequency is what your abs are built for. And as a matter of fact, we hear a lot of times people say, well, I'm just going to get my ab training in through my other bigger lifts, because we know I have to stabilize during a squat and I have to do it during a deadlift. Guys, it's the wrong way to think about it. You're thinking about it backwards. What you should be thinking about is how much better could my squat be and how much better could my deadlift be if my abs were stronger. And we're going to get there by doing more frequent direct ab training. I don't care whether you want to run faster, jump farther, jump higher, or push something with more strength, your abs are going to be the center point for generating all that power, and you want to train them directly. Start training them not long, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. That's all it takes, but be more consistent with it and start doing it every single day if you can, and I promise you'll see better results. And your fifth and final ab exercise mistake is doing just that, thinking only about your abs and not taking advantage of the opportunity to include all the other muscles of your core. I've covered this in another video before called our ab training trinity, the holy trinity of ab training, and it wasn't just about your abs, but it also was about your obliques and more importantly your serratus. And all these muscles function together if you allow them to and train them to, and I give you a whole bunch of exercise options to do that. We'll link to it again at the end of the video. But the bottom line is this, guys. You can do more by including more muscles that like to work with your abs. Another perfect example, stabilize from the bottom up. Have you ever tried to include your adductors? Yes, those muscles on the inside of your thighs when you're training your abs. If you haven't, try this. Lay on your back and instead of doing a regular windshield wiper ab exercise, squeeze your thighs together as hard as you can and then do the exercise. You will find that you can contract your abs a hell of a lot harder just by doing that. And why is that true? Because you're stabilizing the pelvis from down below. The abs will grab onto the pelvis from the top down. If we can get it from both sides, we have a really intense contraction here, and now we want to move and control that pelvis side to side in that exercise. You can do this on almost every single exercise that your legs are in a position to be squeezed together, so start taking advantage of it. So there you have it, guys, the 5 biggest ab exercise mistakes, and of course the big warning in the beginning about that nutrition. But don't worry, guys, I've got you covered. If you're looking for a step-by-step plan that also includes daily nutrition to make sure that you can get ripped and stay ripped year-round, head to athleanx.com and check out our Athleanx training system. In the meantime, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do it and turn on your notifications so you never miss a video. And as promised, guys, the holy trinity of ab training, I'm going to link up here for you. You're going to want to check that out. All right, guys, I'll see you back here again soon. Later.